Well, hello YouTube, and we are back again with the Wisconsin Genset. Well, not technically. We're making the frame to hold it, and using my favorite metal of choice, old bed frame. Yeah, two different sizes to boot. And the nice thing about old bed frame is when you're making something out of it and you need two pieces to be the same length, very frequently they come with these handy little clamps to hold them together so that you can grind them to the same length. Alright, so let's get this fitted up and at a right angle so we can weld it. These two pieces, which are going to be the sides, are, I believe, 32 inches, and the front and back are going to be about approximately 16 inches. So there we go. I already have these ground and cleaned up a bit, and yeah, we'll get them clamped up and ready to weld. Sort of. Well, attempt to weld them anyway. Alright, so I have spared you the pain of watching me weld the other three corners, and I will finish up here with doing the last one on camera. Alright, and there we go. Well, that could have gone better, but of course it could have also gone a lot worse. So we'll let this cool off. Brush off the slag a bit, and see what we've got to work with. Overall, I think it doesn't look half bad for a basic frame. Fairly rigid, which is what I want, and definitely not going to go anywhere sideways. Now we just have to measure out and drill the holes for the actual motor mounting bars. So we'll be back. Okay, to be quite honest, this was the last weld here that I filmed, and yeah, most of you out there that are decent welders probably say this sucks, but that is probably the best weld that I've ever put down with this machine. So maybe using old bed frame is the secret, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so that is the frame pretty much finished. And let me pause a second and zoom in on the actual motor mounts. Alright, so these two bars, well, you see one of the crossbars that the actual engine is going to be mounted to, and that is suspended. It's pretty much floating from the actual frame by means of 8 springs, which are actually from part of the optic mounting system from a projection TV. Anyway, let me just sort of demonstrate how this is going to work. As you can see, we've got a little bit of bounce and give there, which should hopefully minimize some vibration. But the downside is that the motor is mounted all the way up at the front, and the generator is hanging off the back of it and does not have any mountings other than to the block of the motor. So I am wondering if the whole unit isn't going to kind of tip backwards like that due to the weight of the generator. Now, the whole unit does seem to be fairly balanced from what I could tell. It didn't want to rock either way, but that was while it was sitting on concrete. While it's floating on springs, I mean, these are strong springs. I mean, I was putting my whole 180 pounds on that bar with those two springs, and it was barely moving. So I may be able to remedy that by just cranking down the front bolts a little bit to put a little bit more tension on those. Or I may have to, this isn't the piece I'll use, but I may have to put a runner out to the back from probably crossing between the two and put a fifth mount like this on. I still have a bunch of these springs, but yeah, now all that is left is to figure out the placement of the motor mount bolts, which I have the bolt pattern written down, but I want to actually set the engine on there just to see how it is going to be placed, because I basically want the crankshaft in the center of the unit. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.